Okay.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way, everyone.
Episode what? And you're rusty.
G'day, everyone. Welcome back to ECITV, and we've got Ryan with us, Shane, myself. We haven't been around for a while, but we'll be back real soon. Cheers.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time.
And like and subscribe, make sure you hit the post notifications. You are now watching ECITV. Thank you. I'll be watching.
G'day, everyone. Welcome to ECITV. We're back in the studio after a little bit of a hiatus, isn't it called?
Yes.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a month or two or 3 or 4 or whatever it was.
Closer to 6.
Yeah, with floods and COVID and everything else, we haven't really had a chance to get together and get in front of the camera. So anyway, we'll wing it and see how we go.
All right. Do you want to start with products?
Yeah, might as well. We've got a couple of little things here that I thought we'd kick it off with. What we've come up with, there's been out for a little while, the Profile Cat's Eye Hub. What it is, it's a machined out hub. We've sort of done a limited edition of high polished. Ryan's been working very, very busily on the polishing machine.
Good polisher, yeah.
And so what we've done these as a very limited edition lightweight hub, so we've called them the Cat's Eye Lite. They're machined out, as you know, so it already makes the body quite light. They are basically, I think I've mentioned before, based on the old Totem, which is like an elite body, so it's quite smooth. It's not machined out, not knurled and everything like the Mini is, but it's got the Mini mechanism. So it's 48 points of engagement, but we've tied it out with tie button bolts, tie driver, and it comes in at a crazy 545 grams per pair. So for those wanting to save a little bit of weight, we're doing these as a bit of a limited thing around that $800 mark. So for a super lightweight hub set, only in 36 hole, in right or left hand, if you want to get really weird. Yeah, very limited, but we've got those at the moment, and you can check them out on the website, ECI Store. Speaking of ECI Store.
Yeah, there's a new ECI store.
There's a new ECI website called ECI Store. So for all you looking for the odd part, you can go over to ECI Store. ECI Imports is strictly for retailers, our wholesale site. So that's closed off for consumers, and yeah, ECI Store will be introducing a bigger range of products on there that we don't necessarily distribute, but we will be carrying in store. I think we've got KMC chains on there at the moment, which is the first of many brands that we'll start to introduce direct to consumers. So yeah, that's one product to kick it off, and that'll be available on ECI Store only at this stage. But yeah, thought we'd just bling them out a little bit.
It made sense to me. I mean, they're a lightweight hub already, and those like me that have younger junior riders and stuff like that, that want the lightweight parts, I mean, don't get much lighter than that.
Nah, it's brilliant.
I've got Ripley on some mini hubs, essentially the same driver mechanism, but I'm starting to wish I had blinged them out and given them to you to polish as well.
They do come up good. Come up like chrome. So
You want to continue with the profile hubs?
might as well. You can take over the next one if you want, mate.
Okay.
Seeing it's your favourite hub in
It
the world.
is. I want to say that's the hardest thing, because most people know I'm biased. So with Profile's AC2 hub, we've had a couple of requests to bring out a 28 hole in the AC2 disc hub. So Gary sort of reached out to his connections in Florida there, and they've produced for you, mate. They're brought out in black only with stock, 28 hole disc hub, same features as the 36 hole hub. Now, it wasn't just for juniors, because we actually had a senior rider that wanted to...
We've got a senior rider who's just waiting on
Well, he's not senior, he's not as old as us, but...
waiting on some carbon 28 hole hoops to come in, and we're going to lace him up into that, and he's going to hit the track. Andrew Jackson, so one of our profile riders that really wants to give 28 hole a big push, and he believes with the carbon rims that they'll be stiff enough, and the strength of the profile AC2 hubs, he can't see any problem with going 28 hole. So he's going to be our test pilot, and we're just waiting on some hoops to come in, and once they do, we'll get them built up and get them on the track and see how they go. But he's mad keen to try them.
So you did say black only. If someone wanted to custom order a set, is that possible?
No, not at this stage. They're only doing black. Like, they really did it as a limited run for us. We got 10 pair in, and look, you know, at a stretch we could go polished, because I do know someone who can strip those and polish them up, similar to these. And but yeah, black at this stage. But you can configure them with 20mm front, 15mm, 10mm front or rear, and whatever cog you want. So yeah, it's just something a bit new on the market that we thought there was a bit of a hole for, and we got them made. So really good to be able to have that sort of connection with someone like Profile that'll turn around. If we come up with an idea, they'll go, yeah, we'll give it a run for you. And honestly, it took probably less than a month before they were able to machine them up for us and get them over to Australia. Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yep. So along with that, we've got a couple of other little products in, and we've got a heap of Staystrong stuff just turned up. Unfortunately, we've been so busy here that we haven't had an opportunity to get it onto the website, but they will be filtering onto the website over the next couple of weeks. The first one is their new Staystrong pedal. What's the names of these? Do you remember?
Do that to me.
Yeah. No, I've got.
They're the Force. The senior pedals are the Force.
Yep.
And the mini pedals are the Pivot.
That's it. Well done. Yeah, beautiful little lightweight, very low profile pedal that available in 4 colours: black, silver, red, and blue. And the little junior pedals, a good sized platform.
Yeah, they're
actually.
really good size.
I was just thinking that they're bigger than the Pro Size platform from back in the day when I started.
That's it.
Yeah,
and a lot
you
of
guys
design.
rode on wood blocks, though, didn't you?
Chiseled them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whittled them out.
Yeah, that's
He
it.
doesn't mind a bit of whittling.
Like clogs.
The older I get, the more I whittle.
Yeah, that's it. Without being able to control it. So the other thing, we've had in for a little while, and don't know whether we've actually let anyone know, but we do have Answer carbon rims in 20 by 1 1/8, 1 3/8, in 28 hole.
20 hole, yep.
Yep. Do we get 24s in or just the 20s?
In the 1
In the
3/8
1
size, just
Yeah.
the 20s.
So we've got those in, nice little carbon hoops for those little grommets. So it would look really nice and super lightweight, and build up with a nice set of 545 gram hubs.
So you
There
said
you go.
1 1/8 and 1 3/8. Is it one rim that takes both tyres?
Yeah.
One rim that takes both tyres. Look, there's not a lot that make a specific 1 3/8 rim these days. I mean, the old Sun CR18 was a 1 3/8 specific rim. They also made an ICI1 as a 1 1/8 rim. But these days, I mean, there's so much closeness between the diameters of those, or the widths of those rims, that pretty well majority of companies now turn around and just make a 1 1/8 / 1 3/8 rim. And especially when you consider the cost of setting up carbon molds, that it's just not practical to turn around and do them in the 2 sizes when they are so close. So about the only variation you'll get there in a lot of them will be a 28 or 36 hole. But apart from that, yeah, they're just the one hoop. But yeah, in stock now, and disc compatible. As you can see, the stickers go right around to the edge. There's no braking surface on these. We do have them in a braking surface as well. But yeah, to set those up as a set of disc, little mini disc hubs, disc wheels would be lovely. Nice and lightweight.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's sort of it for the products. Like, we've got a ton of new products have come in, but we really just
Can't
dragged
drag it all in.
No, we'd fill this room.
We've only just put it on the shelves.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't even put half of it away, and we've got a lot more coming in over the next week or two. But yeah, apart from that, it's that's about it for the new products that we've got for you today. The exciting part is the new website, and Shane's been working on that for me for probably 6 months. We've been talking about it for probably 5 years, but yeah, he's been working on it for 6 months. There are a few little teething issues, but apart from that, it seems as though it's up and running quite well. And so jump onto ecistore.com.au and check it out.
Normally we have a running sheet, so I know exactly what we're going to do next. Have you spotted anything on the web over the last few months that we should bring up and discuss? I know he wouldn't have looked, so I had to ask you.
Look, there's one thing that I'll mention, and that was the interview you did with Bill Ryan.
Oh, the team's interview.
Yeah,
The sponsorship?
the team sponsorships interview. And
High on your agenda.
it is very high. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a constant conversation that we have in the office, or we have at the track and stuff like that. It's a constant conversation we have with parents, riders. The common question of how do I get on a team? What do I get out of a team? And that sort of stuff. And then you did that interview with Bill Ryan from Supercross, and it just answered everyone's questions.
Well, I don't know. It probably opened up a few more.
Oh yeah, definitely did that, and you definitely look at even the way you structure your own teams and stuff like that. And it's
We will be expanding on that a
Yeah.
heck of a lot over the next 6 months, because it is a subject that we could talk about for 6 months quite easily, because it is quite in depth, and there's a lot of people out there who do need to know, and even we need to know the parameters and what can be offered. I think there's a lot of people that are under the impression that the BMX industry is a lot bigger and there's a lot more funding and everything there, but realistically, it's a very small industry that, most of us are only in it not to make money, but more just because of the passion of the sport. So there's, I know Ryan's learning a lot as he goes along. He's been with us over 12 months now, and like at least every week, he says to me, God, he said, I'm just learning so much more. It's so different being on this side of the phone than the other side.
yeah, definitely.
For Shane and I, we've been doing it for a long time, and so it's just second nature. But until Ryan points it out that, how unusual it is and how he sees the business side of it now, you then realise that, we do need to explain it a lot more to people. So, stay tuned, because we will cover that subject quite a bit.
Yeah, good.
With a lot of industry people, riders, everything. Just
Well, that's a thing too. I think it'd be good to speak to some maybe Grant Hines or something like that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
See, what he's thought on and how he's approached it and his team structure.
Camera shy.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, we could also talk to Scott Shepherd, camera shy, about the same thing through BMX International. But it just seems like we're the only gooses that are happy to sit in front of the camera and make
waffle on.
idiots of ourselves. Apart from that, if we can just get some of those people along to find out their side of the story, maybe what we need to do is just pretend we're just having a podcast or something, and just hide the camera somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they're happy to talk. Believe me, they're all good talkers.
Yeah.
I've spoken for hours and hours with Scott Shepherd. But as soon as you turn the camera on, they do tend to sort of run to the hills a little bit. So
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could touch on some basic stuff today. We've got plenty of time. I don't know.
because we're totally prepared. Totally prepared.
Well, I mean, Ryan has been in the sport for racing now for 2 years?
3 years now.
3 years?
Yeah.
And before you came to ECI, was it high on your agenda to get yourself a sponsorship?
Nah.
So why do you race BMX?
Why? Because I just love riding my bike. It sounds stupid because you're 40-something years old, but you still just enjoy riding bikes. You enjoy riding bikes with your kids and stuff like that. I think early on, when you join a club and the clubs have a club jersey and stuff like that, there is that sort of want to be associated with a group of people. Be it you see a team, a brand, be it Chase or Supercross or whatever. You want to be associated. It's like putting band stickers on the back of your shitbox station wagon, you know what I mean? It's like, you want people to know that's what I'm into. And I think that's how it starts, but there's somewhere along the lines it gets very fuzzy as to what, entails being on a team, what the team can do for you, but also what you should do for the team. And I think there's a weirdness there where, little Jimmy's, placed well in the club championship, so you should give him some free product. Okay.
The worst part of that is little Jimmy's dad's probably been buying his stuff from overseas and then goes looking locally.
Oh, well, so that's a different conversation now.
That's what I mean. There's 6 months here. 6 months worth of conversation here.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. It's all on the tip of the tongue. And you see a lot of businesses at the moment, they're putting in, they've got their development teams, they've got their pro teams, and it's great to see the regular shops and distros putting into the sport, but for some reason people always want more. But I think they need to look at what they can offer. I'm trying not to go too much into it without,
Yeah.
but answering my own questions as I go.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, I always started racing BMX because it was something exciting and new for me, and kept going because it was fun. I had a sponsorship as, I think I was about 14, 15, 16-year-old with CW back in the day. But all through my pro career, I was an independent. Raced in flannelette shirt and tracky pants. Just didn't care about sponsorship at all. I just wanted to race. And
Normal King Lake attire.
I was pretty competitive, and my race gear was cheap, so I was pretty happy. And it wasn't until I got older again that I actually managed to get sponsorship. But it wasn't something I sought.
Yeah.
It was just something that happened naturally, and I believe that I can quite happily keep riding my bike if I wasn't sponsored.
Yeah.
And I start to wonder if people have got it kind of asked about, and it's just because of, I don't know, there's just a group of people, a core group of people that sort of get together and they start talking about, oh, my kid's sponsored. So someone might come into that core and say, oh, how did my kid get sponsored? Not thinking, why are they sponsored?
Yeah.
And what do they do to get there? And
I mean, and that's something you touch on with Bill, where you talk about why you started racing, and why there's suddenly this myth of going, well, we're racing now, I've got to be on a team. And then we've had other conversations where we talk about people that we'd invite or would like on teams, and it's not because they're the fastest, consistent, racer. It's because they love the particular brand that you're trying to represent or you're trying to sell, and that's the sort of person you want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not about how fast a kid is. You just got to be a good kid and love the brand that you want him to endorse.
But like you said, if you want to show off your favourite brands, get the stickers and buy the T-shirts. It doesn't have to be the factory team jersey. And
no.
Well, I think the perfect example of that was Slick Rick. He approached us here at ECI.
I just realised who you're talking about. G'day, Jake.
Yeah, he approached us some time ago, just absolutely passionate about Staystrong and wanted to be involved on the Staystrong team, but was quite adamant at the start. I don't want discounts. I don't want anything like that. I just love the brand. I just want to be part of the team.
Yep.
And wanted to have a full build, race jerseys, T-shirts, everything you could find Staystrong. But it was more about the passion of the sport and the passion of the brand that he wanted the association with the team, not that he could save $5. You know, so that really hit it home for me. So Jake Hall, we're talking about, aka Slick Rick. He approached us some time ago and just absolutely passionate about the brand, and that's all he wanted. Which just blew me away because, for years and years and years, I mean, I've been playing with this for a few years now, and that's probably the first person in almost 30 years that's hit me up like that, not wanting to save money, but just wanted to be involved.
Yeah, association.
Because he loved it. Yeah, simple as that. So I've got a lot of admiration for him because of that.
Yeah.
Did offer him some good discounts as well, but that was only,
It came after.
only because he was such a nice guy.
Yeah, we keep coming back, doesn't he?
And he did my tiling in the bathroom. So.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, the misconception, with teams. Everyone thinks you get on a team and you get your free frame, you get your free products, and when you sort of put it to them and go, well, actually, you'll get a good discount, but you get to be a part of this, and I think they're a bit confused sometimes. Like, what do you mean? That's it?
Well, a lot of that, I think you touched on it last week. A lot of that spread by rumours by parents who want to talk up their kids, or next minute they might get a bit of a discount or buy a frame fork package or whatever to get onto a team, but. They'll start to say that they got it for nothing or whatever to try and, not big note themselves, but just make themselves feel a bit more important.
Yeah.
Other people hear that at the track and believe that, ECI or CTD or BMX International is just handing out products everywhere, which isn't the case. It's just rumours that are circulated, and that's why it's probably a subject that we do need to cover just to put everyone in the picture.
Yeah.
Well, one thing Supercross don't do is they don't sell a jersey, because someone will grab that jersey and say, oh, I'm sponsored by Supercross now. So the only way you can get a jersey is to earn your way onto a team. And it's a really small community, and it's really hard to actually work your way into there, and you have to be a particular type of person. And it's really difficult to talk about teams, like you said, without
going
going
right into
forever
it.
for 6 months. But you know, it's secondary to BMX racing. I've always thought that, you know, if you're good enough to get on a team, great. If someone makes you an offer, great. But it's not something you need to have to be a competitive BMX racer.
And let's be honest, these days, if it's something like I'm saying, where it's an association thing, you know, there's that many custom jersey companies these days. Go and make your own team.
Yeah.
You know, like, and do that. Pick your best mates and go and have some fun and do that.
There's
I
some
think
pretty cool teams out there that have already done that. Like Rad Racing. And,
they've been around for a while and done a fantastic job of it.
What's that Ballarat team? The
Rad
team
Dads, is it?
Rad
Yeah,
Dads?
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and this is the thing, like, even we're talking about these people here, and if like, you'll be on someone's radar. Like, if you're a good rider and you're a good representative of something, people are noticing you. You know, you don't need to chase it. If it's meant to be, it'll come to you. I mean, I know we've got development teams and, you know, grassroots teams and stuff like that. There is levels and there's doors, and if you want to be a part of something fun and you know, get into it and work your way up. You know, it does happen.
I can't stop thinking about all the different things we can talk about, but right now, what you mentioned made me think that be loyal to a brand if you do get sponsorship. Don't just jump to the next best deal or the next product that's just been released, because you're actually going to earn yourself a bit of a reputation, and people like brand loyalty.
Absolutely.
And I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm on the Profile Factory team. I've been using Profile gear for probably 35 years. It's not something that I just started using just because I got on a team. And I had pretty much all my own gear before I even started with the team. So, it goes both ways. You know, you really, if you want to be sponsored by a particular brand, try to make yourself noticed to them, but don't, try pushing yourself onto them too much.
Yeah. Yep. No, definitely. And that's the thing too, like when we've had people approach us and you go, okay, and you might sort of look on the system and that person's never actually bought off you before.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And you sit there and think, well, hang on, you're coming to us for support, but have you ever supported our business?
And that's all it's about. I mean, the whole sponsorship and everything, for me as a business person involved in BMX, that, and I've been instilling this onto Ryan, is that's the whole idea of sponsorship, and that's how I look at it. It's to sell product, to earn money, to be able to put more money into sponsorship, more money into teams, more money in my own pocket, of course, and more money into stock. So without that, Ryan touched on it before in regards to, parents who purchase overseas, and that's fine. It's up to the individual. But don't then come knocking on the door here. Support your local business, because they will support you in the end.
Yeah.
And without that support, we don't exist. So, we do put a fair bit into the sport. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at a huge Answer Whole Shot Award on the opposite wall. We'll be doing a lot more of that and a lot more sponsorship as we move forward. But that doesn't come from, a tree in the backyard.
Yeah, not a money well at the back.
It just comes from selling product, and the product sold because we've got fantastic riders who promote our brands. And we carry some reasonable stock. Yeah, good brands. So, it all does work. But it is very important, and it is important also to be associated with a group of riders at a race meeting. Don't look at it just to save money on buying product. I mean, to have what Andrew Jackson does with our ECI race team is phenomenal. That he sets that up, and he's got lollies and chairs and TV. Up at Bendigo, he hired a couch and had Bathurst going and had everything set up for the riders. And, whether they get discounts or not, they just love being part of that family.
It's the atmosphere.
I mean, I was absolutely blown away when I turned up to Bendigo, and I wanted to cover Bendigo a little bit, but the amount of ECI associated tents and teams at Bendigo was absolutely fantastic. And it's not that the fact that they're all on huge discounts or giving product, they just wanted to be associated with a good group of people. And I think we had half the tents at Bendigo, really. But it's really, really good to see that. And it puts a bit of a lump in my throat when you turn up and you see that all these people have gone to that trouble, set all these tents up, set up everything for the riders, and ask nothing in return. So, it's incredible what some of our team managers do.
Actually, we haven't spoken about this yet, and obviously we could probably go on for ages about it, but as a distributor, and you were in retail for a while as well, so you've been in the industry for a long time, and when you first started there were magazines to advertise in. Did you have as many team riders when magazines were around?
No. We used to spend a lot of money with the likes of Warwick Wheeler and 2020 magazine and everything back in the day. And we sort of based it a lot on Dan's Comp. I mean, Dan's Comp was a fair powerhouse, 20, 30 years ago when we got involved in it. And we used to base a lot of our ads on that and push the mail order side of things, because Australia's a big sort of remote spread out country. And, some of these remote outposts, you'd almost call it, like, Gove, Nhulunbuy and places like that, used to be massive customers of ours, because we would advertise, we'd service them, we'd look after them. So we didn't run much in the way of teams. We spent a lot of money on advertising. We don't do that anymore, obviously, because there's not a lot of printed matter, but our advertising dollar is put into the teams. I mean, we just ordered a heap more tents and table covers and flags and everything to look after our riders and promote their products. That all has to come from somewhere. We don't buy those just to, say we've got 30 tents. We want them to promote, promote stuff. So it's, we didn't have much in the way of sponsored riders back then. It was a lot more just magazine advertising, because that was expensive. I mean, our commitment with the likes of Warwick Wheeler and stuff was quite big. I think we were the only company that actually was with Warwick from day one until he folded the magazine. So
The old digital media took over.
yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's the thing. That's like some key writers under ECI. I've spoken to them and basically have explained, you're our billboard. You're it. We don't do paper anymore. Like you're it.
That's right. Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So.
But yeah, like I said, you can go on forever. But I think the best thing is you're going to put the link to your interview.
Yeah, we can do that.
Do that, and then I reckon we tee up a couple of other guys and have that discussion.
Oh yeah, like I said, this will be a 6-month thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
It's a bit like when disc brakes started. We spoke about that quite a bit. The pros and cons of disc brakes.
And here we are. It's almost the standard, really.
Yeah, it is just standard. Yeah. So speaking of Bendigo, how did you find the Bendigo's state titles? Well, not the Bendigo state titles, but yeah. I just ran the corner for you. I know. It was very good. Look, fantastic effort that Bendigo Club did, because like everyone at the moment, they absolutely got smashed from the heavens leading up to it and looked like it was going to be a total washout. Fortunately, the sun came out on the Saturday and Sunday, and racing went ahead. And
it made sense that they cancelled practice on the Friday. Some people were upset because they took a day off work or whatever, but it worked out for the best, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, not just the couple of days leading up, for months, Bendigo has been, copping it. Dave's been trying to get there with all tracks to sort of get the track and surface done, and then it come in and get washed away again. And I mean, and then you got the rumour mills of, they're going to move it, and they should do this and they should do that. And then on the weekend, sun was out, the track was fast.
So fast.
Yeah, and there was some really good racing.
And unfortunately, it's still going on. We got everyone's getting smashed at the moment. So the poor tracks out there that are suffering, all the work that's been put into them is they've just watched it go down the drain. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of recovery. But
yeah.
I was hoping to get BSX up and running by now and have sessions, but we've had trees falling down. Had to get the chainsaw out and clean up. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's insane at the moment. And even as we're speaking, it's raining outside. It's just crazy. We've had some horrible floods down here. But anyway, it's look, on the bright side of things, we've got Warrnambool this weekend. Now, I don't know when this is going to air, but it is Saturday at the moment, so we've got Warrnambool this weekend.
Yeah.
Knox next weekend.
Yeah. Which I believe we had Hollywood send us a bit of a video of the skies down there that was sunny.
That was this morning.
It's changed this afternoon? Okay.
I've seen a couple of motos posted on Facebook and it's just raining and I was like,
okay.
I feel so bad for missing out now.
And then we've got Knox Thunderdome next weekend, which is always a big meet.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of good race meetings coming up.
Well, not just coming up, but been already. Like, we haven't spoken since Hell Track, have we?
Since
Frankston.
No, we didn't.
No, okay.
No.
I mean, obviously everyone's seen what happened there, but that was just a crazy event. You know,
Oh.
flamethrowers and pyros and
I think
torrential rain and
wasn't Peter Hart behind most of that?
yeah.
Look,
So-
fantastic job, Pete. He, what he put on there. And look, there was people interstate just talking about it pre and post. That fantastic event. He's done a great job, and I think rumour has it that he's going to do a bit of promotion for a couple of
yeah, I
tracks.
think he's got some ideas up his sleeve. So
Okay.
he sort of keeps
Excellent.
hinting at a couple of things.
So they had $14,000 in prize money there, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like something crazy.
It's a ridiculous amount of money. And then to consider that another club might have it within a few months. Northern has 10 grand, I
Yeah,
think,
got some big dollars.
in about 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, it started a chain reaction, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Warrnambool's got that dash for cash this weekend too.
And they have 4 grand of prize money up.
Yeah.
What's do you know what Thunderdome is? What's up for Thunderdome?
No.
Not too sure.
No, they haven't posted anything, I don't think.
Okay.
Have they?
Oh, there's some kind of payback schedule, I think.
Yeah.
It just is exciting that we're getting back into the race season because it seemed like post COVID even it took a while to get things fired up again. And I mean I know during COVID there was nothing, but it was a bit of a drought there for a while with racing. But it seems like I know I was talking to John Sturzacker at Bendigo, I believe, and he had the next 6 weeks solid with his pro shop trail and trackside, and I think he said out of those 6, 4 of them were basically interstate. So he's just living on the road for the next 6 weeks
I
almost.
think he's living on fumes.
So because he's heading over to Tassie. So when's that?
When is that? End of November.
Yeah.
In November. I know he's booked his spot on the boat. And when you consider, the effort that someone like John goes through, and this is what I was talking about before, that, so many people put so much into the sport, and quite often for a small return, John's heading over to Tasmania. I think he was saying the other day it was $3,800 to get his car and trailer on the boat over there and back. And then you're looking at time, accommodation, everything else. I mean, please support him when he's down there. If you need some tyres, tubes or whatever, chase John up because it's a fair effort and a big expense to drag all that down to Tasmania.
Big cost before you've even set up your tent.
Oh my God, yeah. You got to. I don't know. You got to do like 20 grand weekends or something to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
You guys aren't going down, are you?
No.
No. We've been busy doing lots of things. I know Ryan was looking at going down.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty chaotic here, and we've got a lot of things still happening. So, unfortunately, it's a bit hard to get away.
Yeah.
You got a lot of product coming through at the moment. Does that mean less racing?
For me,
For you guys.
well and truly less racing for me.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if you can get less than none.
I mean, we used to see you at the track quite a bit, and
Yeah.
you've been a bit quiet this year.
Yeah, it is a lot harder to get away. Plus, I have been doing it for a lot of years, and it's now that I've got Ryan and such a fantastic crew of riders and team managers.
Don't forget me.
That you.
Don't forget me. You said
Who are
everyone's
you riding
fantastic.
for?
I'm not
Who
fantastic.
are you riding for? That represent our products and our brands and ECI. Half the time I don't need to go. I've also got other passions these days, a little bit of fishing, and it's I don't get to a lot of race meetings, but I mean even Bendigo, I shot up there for sort of half a day basically. Still caught up with everyone, and as soon as racing started, I jumped in the car and came home. But anyway.
Well, no one really talks much when the racing's on.
No, that's it.
Serious,
Yeah. And I had other commitments. So even next weekend, I've got other commitments. So I won't even be able to get to Hell Track, unfortunately.
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, mate. Yeah.
Even with that block racing though, you go to the pits once racing starts. You're there for your 3 motos and you're qualifying for the finals. So Gary wouldn't have had a chance to talk to anyone really.
No.
anyway.
No, it was ideal for me leading up, this Saturday because racing didn't start till 2. I mean, we were at the track at 9 or whatever, 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I caught up with everyone I needed to. So that was excellent. But yeah, it was a fantastic event, and like I said, what they did at Bendigo there was just phenomenal. So
Yep.
very, very good. Look, all tracks. Hats off to everyone that commit and put efforts into tracks, and then you have rain and everything, and it's just, committee members just work so hard. I know I've been there years ago with Lilydale, and even Lilydale now, they've moved some of their clubbies and everything over to Eastfield. Eastfield's opened up and accepted them because their tracks
It's washed
been
halfway
hit.
down,
So
down the hill.
so there's a lot of that going on. It's fantastic to see clubs working together like that. So.
Yeah, well, it's a small community in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, speaking of going away for racing, I think you're heading off somewhere.
Yeah, King Lake.
Yeah, straight after
That's
this.
a holiday.
Straight after this. Heading over to the Grands,
Yes.
along with a lot of other Australians.
Yeah, I can't imagine how many Australians will be there, but there's quite a few from what I've heard in the grapevine. So originally my plan was just to turn up there and surprise everyone, but the cat was out of the bag pretty early in the piece. So we're going to go over and get a whole bunch of content for ECITV. We're going to be talking to the guys from Profile and a bit of a road trip with them to get
You're actually spending a few days at the Profile factory.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
about 2. Hoping to catch up with Jim and the rest of the crew there, Gus, and go through all of the process of manufacturing and all that sort of stuff. So there's going to be a ton of video recording in that
Content,
first couple of
yeah.
days. And then there's a road trip across to Tulsa from Florida in the Profile truck, which will be fun.
That'd be awesome.
And then I think we're at Grands for 8 days. Cause we get there on the Sunday. Practice starts on the Wednesday, so I'm not sure what we're doing in the first couple of days. I'm going to sneak in as much as I can while there's a bit of downtime. I got no idea. And then we plan to catch up with a whole bunch of people at the Grands between races. So we've already organised a whole bunch of interviews. Do plan on going around and capturing new products because I noticed not too many people have been doing that in the past. Grand seems to be like the new Interbike. It's the only
Definitely.
place apart from the World Championships where all the manufacturers get together, and there seems to be a lot of internationals starting to travel there now too. So one of the groups we're catching up with is Frenchies over at the Grands, which is a bit funny, an Aussie and a French guy catching up in America. It could have been cheaper for one of us. And then after that, we'll go to California for a week. So we'll be going to ODI, dropping into Supercross, catching up with a bit of riding at some of the other tracks and getting hopefully to the legendary Sheep Hills as well for a bit of a ride. So it's going to be a hell of a trip. It's going to be crazy. Lots of time in the air. I think my first day is almost 24 hours of flights just to get to Florida. So I'm hoping that I can sleep. But lots of content for you guys.
Yeah, it'd be excellent. And when you're saying you're actually travelling with a couple of the other Profile guys and Matt White. Matt White.
So we've got
Dozer.
Sean, Andrew, and Zach Perry.
Oh, yeah.
So not spending a whole lot of that time together, but we will be sort of catching up with each
Crossing
other.
paths.
Yeah. And they're going to be staying under the Profile tent as well.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Gus has welcomed them
Yeah.
in, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
I noticed that there's quite a few Euros sticking around in the States for the Grands as well.
Yeah, a whole bunch just going over specifically for it as well. So it's going to be an amazing pro spectacular.
Yeah. I think the last YouTube edit that Nick Kimmon put up, he and his brother are over there training, they raced Oldsmar and that sort of stuff, and they're sticking around with a bunch of them for Grands, which is interesting.
Yeah. I'd say Grands has been lacking as far as having a bit of an international flavour the last few years. I mean, obviously, you always get an Aussie or two there.
Yep.
You always get, a couple of Europeans, but this one seems like it's almost going to be like a World Cup round with so many internationals.
But it's just a different style of race, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see some of the Euros that are over in the States at the moment, and, the flatter hills and that sort of stuff, and you go, you're not where you normally are,
But it's good to see them on a different level, on an everyday track. It almost, for some of them, they have a completely different skill set. So you see a Nick Kimmon sort of struggling on a flatter track and battling sort of just to make a final, which is unusual maybe not this year, but in previous years, watching a Nick Kimmon just completely dominate Supercross. It's out of control.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, you'll be there to see it in person, won't you?
I will be. It'll be sensory overload. It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, you just feel like there's another clubby though. There'll be that many Aussies there.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
You got, is it Dane Anderson's going over. Oh no,
No.
Adam Carey. He's got
Oh, yeah,
he's got a
Adam.
crew going.
Dane's going.
Dane's
No, I
going.
don't
over.
think-
I
no,
thought
I
he
don't think
was.
he
I
is.
thought he mentioned
No,
he was.
I don't think so.
Hollywood and
Yeah. You got
his entourage.
the Booby family.
Mm.
So yeah, you're just thinking another clubby. No, that's good. What else are you going to do over there? You're not just racing the Grands, are you? Are you doing the Rock?
Yeah, you are. You're racing Rock. Didn't you say you were?
Oh, the race champions. Yeah, yeah,
Racing
yeah.
Champions, yeah.
When you said the Rock, I thought you
You
meant
think
Rock.
what? Alcatraz?
I thought you meant Rockford, and I was like, that's the wrong time of year. Yes, I'm racing
ROC.
open class. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So I decided to take 2 bikes. I just figured sitting around all day isn't enough, so I'd sit around half the day and ride 2 bikes.
Yeah,
But
cool.
So you've been once before, haven't you?
I've been to the NBL Grands and I've been to the ABA Canadian Grands.
Yep.
So I haven't been to anything post the whole big merger to USA BMX, and definitely haven't been to a race meeting quite this big. So
Massive.
yeah, it's going to be long days.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
I'm going to have plenty of nana naps, I think.
Yeah, when racing starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and finishes at 11 o'clock at
Yeah,
night, you know,
yeah.
they're big days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. But still. So, yeah, I don't know what else we've got to cover.
I don't know.
We haven't got a run sheet, like we said, so...
That must be about it. But
I think there's lots of news to come.
oh yeah, it might be a while before we all get together again and do another show. Because I go in 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
So definitely want to do a big catch up when I get back.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, you'll have so much in the way of footage and products and interviews and...
Yeah, so I don't plan on doing too much editing while I'm there. I don't think I'll have much time. So I'm going to be uploading a whole bunch of videos to our file server and then waiting until I get back. There might be, bits and pieces, but not full interviews and things, I don't think. Fingers crossed I might get some out, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's probably about it for us then.
Yeah.
Wish
Thanks.
you safe travels and everything, and,
Thank you.
look forward to catching up and seeing everything when you do get back, because that'll be exciting. Wish I was going over myself,
Yeah, you
but
should.
yeah, things are just crazy.
It's not too late.
Yeah, I know. I know. Too much going on. So. Oh, well, thanks very much for joining us, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Not that you had to travel far for it, seeing you
No.
you live here almost. But that's about it from us. So thanks very much, and sorry for the big gap of our last episode. But
It's the way things happen.
yeah,
Big gaps.
big gaps.
Some of us are born with them.
Life is like that. So. But anyway, thanks very much, everyone, and stay safe out there, and we'll catch up with you in a few weeks or post Grands, and if you can, stay dry because most of Australia's underwater.
See you guys.
See you all.